Ex-wife, her CEO throne, and my silent revenge. He leaned back in his leather chair, polished arrogance dripping from every word. "Why don't you cut ties with my wife?" he said. I looked at him. Crisp suit, gold cufflinks, the smug grin of a man who thought money could buy superiority. He didn't know who I was, not really. He thought I was just a dropout, a ghost from her past. What he didn't know was that I held their empire in my hands. $900 million, my account, sitting quietly in their bank. My silence had built their throne, and my silence was about to dismantle it. She wasn't always like this. I remember her when ambition still had warmth. When late nights meant cheap coffee and scribbled dreams, not gala dinners and empty smiles. She believed in me once, believed in us. I worked double shifts, scraped money together, all so she could finish school. She said she'd pay me back with a lifetime of loyalty. I thought love was stronger than titles, stronger than degrees. I was wrong. The first crack came quietly. Missed calls, excuses that didn't fit, her perfume lingering too long after she came home late. I told myself stories, anything to keep the faith alive. But faith is blind, and blindness is dangerous. The truth revealed itself one evening, almost casually. A friend from the bank mentioned her husband, not realizing I still wore the scars of being the first one. The words sliced deeper than any knife. My ex-wife. Married again. Married to him. And then I saw them. At a charity event, she on his arm, sparkling, laughing the same laugh she once gave me. He saw me watching, walked over, and whispered those words with poison-laced courtesy. "Why don't you cut ties with my wife?" That was the moment the pain crystallized into something sharper, something stronger. Revenge. I didn't shout, I didn't break, I observed, quietly. I studied their empire, brick by brick. Their bank flourished on the trust of wealthy ghosts like me, people too rich, too quiet, too distracted. They had no idea that I was their pillar. For months, I moved in shadows, repositioned assets, opened silent channels with rival institutions, created holding companies under names they would never trace back to me. Every transfer was a chess move. Every signature, a dagger slid closer to their ribs. Meanwhile, I smiled at them, shook hands, let them believe I was beneath them. There is power in being underestimated. The morning came like any other. The sun rose, their bank doors opened. Staff greeted customers with rehearsed smiles. But beneath the marble floors, I had already pulled the foundation apart. At 10:03 a.m., I closed my account. $900 million vanished from their books with the tap of a key. Not withdrawn in cash, not transferred recklessly, relocated strategically, starved from their veins into institutions ready to devour them. The numbers collapsed like dominoes. Their liquidity froze. Investors panicked. Phones rang off the hook. By noon, headlines screamed about the unexpected crisis at one of the country's leading banks. And I sat in a cafe across the street, sipping black coffee, watching the storm through glass. They found me, of course. Desperation makes even the proud crawl. He stormed into the cafe first, fury twisting his polished face. She followed, pale and trembling, a queen watching her kingdom burn. "What did you do?" he hissed. I set the cup down slowly, looked him in the eye. I cut ties, just like you asked. Her eyes widened, recognition dawning too late. She remembered the nights I stayed up calculating risks, the way I could see 5 moves ahead. She remembered the man she underestimated. The silence between us stretched, thick with their fear and my calm. "You ruined us," she whispered. "No," I said, "you did, the day you forgot who built you." The collapse was merciless. Within weeks, their names were dragged through mud, their empire dissected by regulators, their allies fleeing. He resigned in disgrace. She, once untouchable, now avoided the cameras that once adored her. I didn't gloat publicly. I didn't need to. The satisfaction wasn't in headlines. It was in the silence of their downfall, the echo of their arrogance turned to ash. Sometimes at night, I think back to who we were, to the laughter before betrayal, the dreams before greed. I wonder if she ever thinks of the man who once held her up, who could have given her everything she wanted without tearing him down. But I don't regret it, not a single step, because in betrayal there are 2 choices: to be broken by it or to let it forge you sharper than steel. I chose the latter, and now when I walk past their ruined empire, I feel nothing but clarity. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, and mine whispered the loudest when I walked away with 900 million reasons she would never forget me.